Hello everyone, hello, hope you're doing okay. Oh, got my, got the, let's get rid of that video, there we are. Okay, there we go, that's better. Hope you're doing alright, great to see you all. Yes, back for the first time in a couple of weeks. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, good to see you, Adriana, good to see you, Jeremiah as well. Great to see you both. How are you both doing? Yeah, been a bit of a, basically, long story short is last week was a bit of a hectic one, sort of had some arrangements to do basically, so this and the other, it just sort of threw the channel off for a couple of, I guess you'd say a week, maybe a couple of weeks, but anyway, we're back now with a Peruvian special as well. Yes, so I've got a friend from Peru essentially, so they've, and that's kind of one of the people I was meeting last week, and they gave me a few treats basically, and I thought, you know what better way to celebrate them than to do a special live review for them. So here we are. Yes, you thought the chat was broken. Oh, see. Why? What happened, Adrian? What happened? Well, it's fine. I can see you fine, so don't you worry. Yeah, so great to see you. How are you doing? How are you doing today? Any chocolate antics going on at your end? So basically, yeah, these are lots of. I mean, I don't know. Is Peru? I mean, Peru's known for its chocolate, isn't it? You would say for sure, but is it known for its treats and stuff like that? Well, I have not heard of any before, I must admit. But let's see what we find today. Got a few. They've got about at least 5 to 7 things, but whether a couple of them I might not do because a couple of them are sort of a bit more, I don't know, maybe not quite as exciting as you want, just a bit more regular really. And of course, got to draw the line somewhere. There's hundreds of things I'm sure you could buy in Peru. We can't really get through all of them today, but we'll get through a good few of them, at least 5 I would say, at least 5 of them. So yeah, so where to start? Well, I've got a few chocobars with the same sort of branding, same company. So let's have a look, what have we got? Let's start with this one actually. I think this is a traditional, Peruvian fruits. Here we go. We've got this chocolate here. So look at that, chocolates, lucuma. Yeah. So basically, it's a fruit. Now I've not heard of it before. I had any sort of interactions with Peruvian culture, but it's basically a fruit, and you can see there essentially what it is there. So I've certainly never heard of it before. So very interesting. So it's a bar of chocolate, milk chocolate bar with lucuma filling. So there we go. So you can see it's got Spanish there, but also the English translation, which is very handy for me. The net weight is 50 grams. So there we go. You can see there, Oscuro is a dark chocolate, basically, as you can imagine. Yeah. I guess Vieno is filling. So there we are. Interesting. All right. So there we go. So what's it say on the back? We got any other information? I'm assuming we have. Yes. So we got have a look. Will it focus in very well? It's struggling a bit with like those stripy bits. There we are. All right, so let's see what we got. So per 50 grams, and the bar is 50 grams, and it's got per. It's really struggling actually with that. There we go. That's a bit better. I'm assuming that's per. Oh, there we go. Fat, 26 grams of fat, 13 of which are saturates, and I think that's per bar basically. I don't think it's per 100 grams. So that's interesting. What's got for the calories? Does it say? A bit hard to see the calories. I think it's there. Looks like 320 to me, but I can't quite make it out. Very difficult to make out, actually, I must say. There we go. So you got chocolate, dark and milk chocolate, 62%. Lucuma filling, 38%. So that's pretty straightforward. It goes up to 100. We've seen in the channel a few times where the ingredients that they put on the back don't always add up to 100, and in this case it clearly does. So that's pretty good. I don't know why they don't always add up to 100. That is very strange, but there we go. Hi Roberto, great to see you. How are you doing? Lovely to see you today. How's your 2 weeks been? And you're doing okay. Just bought a pack of Kinder Bueno this morning. That's not too bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. Yes, are you a big fan of Kinder? I remember you saying actually, Adriana. Yeah, so and it does look very nice. Well, the fruits. I don't know if anyone ever had any lucuma fruits before. I'm not sure. I think I might have had it before in one of the chocolates I got from Peru in the past. But there you go. You can see there, got the Peruvian address. They're in the bin, stuff like that. Yeah, very interesting. All right, yeah, so it looks pretty good, really. And I say there's the ingredients list there, but there does seem to be an English translation there at the bottom, so that's quite good. Does it have any palm oil or palm fat in it? Not that I can easily see. That's just pretty good. Okay, very good. Yeah, very good. All right. Well, let's see. What should we do? Let's give it an open, shall we? Why not? Okay. So right, we've got it here. You can see that in the camera below. Maybe I could have done with. I figured maybe one of these days, you can get those cameras that point straight down. sort of like hang from above. That's not what I've got. I've basically got a little webcam on a little stand on the left. Maybe I need to get one of those, but you know, it's all expense, isn't it? You know what I mean? So whether it's really worth it, but it would be quite good, I think, to have that. But don't have this camera above me and stuff like that. Would it be a nightmare? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's something to consider anyway. All right, so let's give this a bit of an open then, shall we? It does look very nice, very different, very unique. I'll say very much a Peruvian flavour. This. I think it's you know, in the region. I don't think it's just Peru that has a lucuma. I think it's sort of Chile and other countries probably have it, I'm sure. But there we go. It smells very nice actually, but it's very difficult to open, I must say. There we go. All right, but it smells very nice. Got an interesting smell. It smells a bit caramel-like, but then with a strange hint of something else. So very interesting. Whether I like it, I don't know. I'm feeling it might be an acquired taste, but we'll see. We shall see. All right, so there we go. All right, let's put the wrapper to one side. Yes. Press something good here. Well, fingers crossed. I mean, as I say, I think it's going to depend on whether you like the sort of lucuma fruits. Essentially, I think that's the gist of it. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. It's got the smells quite. What does it smell like? Interesting. It smells a bit like it smells a bit like raisins or something like that. It's got like a sort of you know, a sort of dried fruit smell to it for sure. I didn't buy it from anywhere. Yeah, a friend gave it to me. I have a Peruvian friend basically, and they gave it to me. So they were visiting last weekend. So yeah, that's where I got it from. Yeah. So interesting one. But you probably can buy it. But I'd say well, I'm sure you can definitely buy it. But whether in the UK you can, I don't know. But yeah, interesting. So there we go. Bit of a special one for sure. So you can see here, this is what we're up against. It's snapped in half there. So as I say, bit of the filling now. We'll chop it up in a bit. We can see here that the I guess the chocolate separated a bit at the top. I think that's just a way of it. I mean, it's a hot country, Peru, don't forget. So it has come from there. All right, so let's have a see. So I've got the old calipers here. So we'll try and give it a bit of a measure as best I can. Let's have a look. The width about 3.7. The height about 1.2. And in between the segments about 6.6, about 7 millimeters. All right, and then the length. We'll try and do the length. I mean, it's going to be a bit because it's sort of broken a bit. I'll do it with my ruler. I think it might be easier. Got the old measuring stick. Let's see. It is about 12 centimeters, basically, maybe 12.2. 12.1, 12.2. Let's try it with the old caliper, see what it says. It's not quite straight. 12.2 the caliper said, so there we go. Relatively close there with my rule. Well, it was spot on, sort of. So ruler's not too bad, does work. Okay, so let's give it a bit of a chop, shall we? Give one of the segments a chop. Now, I'll say this, I think, will depend on whether you like lucuma. I think you can see it's like a sort of truffle-y centre. Let's give it a chop down the middle. There we go. So you can see there what we're up against. Okay. So I'll say it is fruity. It is a fruit filling, that basically, even though it doesn't look like it. So we'll see. So very interesting. Right, I think we should give it a taste. Now, I'm hoping I like this. I really am hoping I like it. But as I say, I've never had it before, so at least not specifically. Forward chocolate always has high chance of being good. Well, fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed. Something different, at least, isn't it, Adrian? That's the thing as well. It's different, you know. I think that's the main thing as well. But will I like it? Let's give it a try. Let's find out. Could be, yeah. It looks dusty. Yes. It's basically because what's happened is because it's well, it's either it's basically the fillings kind of spread out a bit, like the sort of fats or whatever have kind of either come out from the chocolate, but I think from the filling, basically. And it's kind of a dark chocolate as well, so kind of powdery. But you can see there, or it might have even been filled from the top in some way, because it's quite a consistent pattern. So that implies to me that the way it's been filled or something like that is indicative of it. But you can see as well that it plumes towards the top in the middle anyway, so that's presumably why it comes through like that. So there we go. Yeah. All right, let's give it a go. Let's see. Let's have a taste. Interesting. I can definitely interesting taste actually. I'm not sure. It's kind of quite a subtle taste actually. It's not. I mean, I'm getting quite a lot of chocolate taste is the gist of it, because the chocolate's quite thick. I mean, it's not. I would say it's quite a good proportion there, but it's clearly more chocolate than filling. I'm definitely getting that. The chocolate's okay. I'd say it's a bit of a dark milky sort of chocolate. It's a mix of milk and dark chocolate, and it's quite nice actually. I mean, it doesn't stand out too much. It kind of complements the centre. Pretty good. Yes, not too bad. Looks very typical. Well, it probably is back over there. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good though. As I say, the filling is different, but I'm trying to think how to describe it. You know. Hello there, Pam. How are you doing today, Pam? Great to see you. First live stream. Well, welcome aboard. Yeah, great to have you, Pam. How's the chocolate action going at your end this weekend? Hope you're having some good ones. Yeah, this is just saying we've got this Peruvian chocolate bar with lucuma in the centre, which is a fruit. It's a bit of a strange one. I mean, it's a strange one really because it's obviously, you know, it's not a fruit normally. I think it's a normal kind of, by the looks of it, it's kind of very much a sort of truffle looking fruit, like a sort of, I don't know. Let's see what the description said again for it. Let's have a look. So, there we go. Dark chocolate, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, lucuma filling, it says. I don't know, dehydrated lucuma. Interesting. It's an interesting taste, really. I mean, it's very subtle. It's not quite very distinct as such. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's kind of, the chocolate's quite nice. I say quite mixed in. It's not too rich. It's not too milky. It's just quite nice. I quite like it actually. It's quite subtle though. You know what I mean? You're not. I don't know. It's definitely not going to It's not going to divide people upon being too much of one thing or another. That's for sure. But it's quite nice. It's quite. It's just good. It's just good. It just basically acts as a sort of medium to give you the lucuma filling. But the filling itself, I don't know. It just tastes a bit like a sort of very subtle. It's almost like, I don't know, what kind of filling would you say? Very subtle, like raisiny, sultana taste. Not really too tarty. Quite subtle, really. It's interesting. I think, it's not. I don't know. I was expecting a stronger flavour, I must say. I don't know. I'm sure I've had a similar lucuma filling in the past, just like a little chocolate that I tried, and I'm sure it was quite a distinct taste. But I'm not getting that here. It's very subtle. Yeah, some Cadbury caramel today. It's absolutely delicious. Oh, not bad at all. Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. In what way? Did the actual bar or in the mini buttons? Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Pam. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, I imagine it to taste like the basics ones. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those. It's not like a branded chocolate bar. It's not Nestle or anything like that. So it's probably a bit more. Well, you haven't said that. I don't know what the brand's like in Peru, of course. I'm not too sure. It could be a really big brand there. I don't know. But yeah, it comes across as a bit more less artificial. I think it's coming across that way, and as a result of that, the flavours are quite subdued. I think it's one of those. Yes. Hi there, Joe. Great to see you. Yeah, I'm not too bad at all, actually. Yeah, how are you doing? It's been a couple of weeks. I've been maybe a bit longer, actually. I don't think you were here the week before last. When yeah, it's good to see you, Joe. How's things going for you? We're doing some Peruvian bars this time, so your neck of the woods almost, almost. Let's have a bit of a sip of the. I quite like this. I quite like this bar, actually. I feel like it's quite subtle with the flavours, but it's just quite nice. So if you have like sort of like a datey, fig style filling or something like that, which are quite strong flavours. I don't know, this one seems quite subtle, and it might be that the chocolate's working quite well and it's just proportioned pretty well. And I think it comes across quite nice. You're getting a bit of that sort of texture of the fruit, but not too much so, and you're getting a bit of the dark chocolate and milk chocolate mix, but not too much either. I think it's just quite nice, actually. I feel like the flavour though. I think if you're a fan of lucuma, you probably might be a bit disappointed. I think because I'm sure it's meant to be a bit stronger than this, and it's not that strong. So I don't know, but for me it kind of works quite well. But so I think for me, 3.5 out of 4. I think it's a good. I'll say a 3.5 out of 5. I think I'm quite happy with it. I feel like it's perhaps could be a bit stronger, could be a bit more interesting, a bit more exciting, but by the same token, it could be a lot worse. So I think it's not bad. It's not bad. Yes. Born Chocolate's a 20 for 2023. Certainly, well, yeah, it's certainly one of those things. It's definitely coming on strong. I mean, it was, we've done a few where it seemed to start off with the caramel from Australia, from what I saw anyway. It seemed to be the big thing, yeah, I think that was last year or the year before, and then it seemed to migrate over from Australia to the UK for sure, yeah. Yeah, so it's been interesting, and I know M&S do a blonde chocolate bar, and a few others are doing their own blonde chocolate bars now as well. And I've got all these Nestle products that are labelled as gold, but not really blonde chocolate, but interesting. Great to see you again. Yes, you're doing very well, thanks. Oh, good to hear, Joe. Good to hear. Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, have you heard of lucuma, Joe? I'm sure you probably more likely to have than us. I've certainly not heard of it before I had any Peru interactions. So, yeah, like a sort of fruit So some trees in Peru, Bolivia, possibly Chile as well. There we go. And if any of us have heard of it, it'll be you, Joe. Yes. They should do a blonde chocolate whisper or Yorkie. They certainly should, Pam. They really should. They really should, yeah. I think they really should. And not even a white chocolate one as well. But you're right, they really should do that. And I really hope they do. And yeah, even if the Yorkie one isn't great because they tried to do some kind of weird shenanigans with it, I still would like to see it. I mean, never heard of it. See, that's interesting. Yes, it's definitely sort of doesn't seem to get out of that sort of region much, but it's basically a Peruvian, Bolivian, Chilean type fruit, I think. Yeah, so interesting. Yeah, just goes to show, doesn't it? Yes, everyone else was watching Jao's from Brazil, by the way. So I thought if anything, it might have migrated its way there, but it looks like it's not. Because Jao's very well up on various food shenanigans, so I'm sure he would. Yeah, so strange that it's not made its way there, Jao. Yeah, interesting, but there we go. Yeah, well, I've got another couple of them, so let's have a try. So I say this is in Spanish again, so we'll see if we can translate it. Well, it does translate underneath. What's this one? I assume this is caramel. Bar chocolate, dark and milk with a manjar blanco filling. So milk chocolate bar with dulce de leche. Well, there we go. Okay, so I forgot what dulce de leche is. It's basically a sort of a special way of making caramel, I think. I can't quite recall. I think they use special parts of, I don't know, I can't remember. Yeah, special milk or something in it. I'm not sure. In fact, let's find out. Why not? I've got Wikipedia open. Let's okay. Confection from Latin America. It says, man, Jao might be able to say what this is as well. Sorry, Jao, putting all this pressure on you. Yes, known as caramelized milk candy or milk jam in English, also known as that. It's prepared by slowly heating sugar and milk over a period of several hours. So basically, it's basically like making caramel, but with milk involved as well, I think. What's my favourite fruits? Yeah, difficult one that, Pam, actually. I quite like, I've always quite liked grapes, to be honest. I quite like grapes. Bananas can be nice, but sometimes have a bad experience with one where it's not ripe enough or something like that, and puts me off. I quite like them. I quite like lots of them really, but I think grapes tend to be one I quite like. Yeah. How about you? What's your favourite? Although when it comes to chocolate, I quite like banana in chocolate as well. Actually, I think maybe strawberry. I quite like blackcurrant in chocolate as well. There's sort of round cherry as well. In fact, a lot of them are quite nice. It's very difficult to pinpoint one particularly. They all have their moments, don't they, in certain situations? But tend to, I think grapes basically. I quite like grapes. Quite easy to eat. Quite nice. How about you? Blonde chocolate's okay. Yeah, do you have much of it where you are, Adriana? Yes. I don't know if it's a big thing where you are. I'm not sure. Well, yes. I guess I've already said it. It's very common to put dulce de leche on bread here. Wow. I see. Have you tried it much yourself then, Jao? Yours is coconut. I see. Yeah, it's definitely a few. That's a good one actually. Jao, it's a good one. That. Yeah. I think there's definitely a good few coconut chocolates about as well, that's for sure. I think coconut's a bit more difficult to prepare generally in the UK, at least I've found. Yeah. I wish fruit was really unhealthy and chocolate cakes and biscuits were on your favourite day. I see, you wish it was the other way around, I see. I know what you mean. It is a shame, isn't it? But there we go. Yeah. I know. It is a real shame. But you know, everything good always has to come at a cost, doesn't it? That's the problem. Alright, so let's have a look at this. Well, we'll give it an open now. I mean, it's going to be the same dimensions as the one, so we'll sort of do it relatively quick. But obviously, I think it's going to look the same on the outside. In fact, let's have a quick look at the calorie information stuff like that. We haven't done that, have we? I forgot. It's a bit difficult with the blurb. Yeah, so per 50 grams, again, if it's about 220 calories this time. Surely one said 300. Does it 290? It's very hard to see this, actually, isn't it? It's very difficult to see. Just that stripy bar bit makes it quite difficult. Looks like 220 to me though there. Okay, 9 grams of fat, 6 of which are saturated. So it does seem a lot less than the other one actually. The other one seems to be a lot higher in fat and calories and stuff, even though it's the same bar, which is strange, isn't it? Let's have another look. It definitely starts with a 3 of that, doesn't it? There, yeah. Definitely a lot more fat and things. Yeah, wow. Interesting. So dulce de leche is definitely, despite its name, sweeter the cream, I think it sounds like. Sweet cream? Yeah, not sure. Something like that. That's what it translates as. Banana's your favourite. Yeah. You can't go wrong with bananas, that's for sure. They are nice. Can you please do grocery shopping hauls? I see. I mean, it's like seeing going around the supermarkets grabbing loads of chocolate, stuff like that. Possibly. I mean, it's one of those. I did consider doing things like this actually, but I don't know. It seems, I don't know. Always seems a bit odd running around with a camera sort of thing, doing things like I could do that though, maybe. Or maybe at least come back with the bags and stuff. Maybe I could do that. Something to consider. That is something to consider. You do it at home using milk and sugar. Yeah, so is it quite straightforward, is it, Joe? Just basically heating them over a pan. I assume you have to have the right proportions or whatever, but yeah, interesting. Alright, let's give this one an open then. Alright, let's see. So I'd say the measurements will be the same as the other one, but you know, we'll do it all the same. Very hard to open these parts. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. I don't seem to be like welded together. You've got like this corrugated crimp in there as well, which you saw before, which is okay. This one does seem to have leaked out a bit, the filling, so it's going to be very sticky, this one. Might have to handle it with care. In fact, all the segments have kind of broke a bit, really. I'll show you where I can here. Segments are kind of, in fact, I can show you here, can't I? Yeah, so you can see the segments, all but one of the segments is broken. You can see it's kind of leaked out a bit there. Which I guess is a good sign, it's full of stuff, but there we go. Yes. Yes, there we go. Yes, I managed to open it. Thanks, Pam. Thank you. Yes. Of course, I could use scissors and all sorts. I just tried to keep it sort of a bit more. I don't know. Sometimes I send the wrappers on to people who collect them. So it's about the same, but with caramel instead. Basically, it's the same bar. It's like imagine sort of Cadbury doing different fillings and flavors, or Milka or something like that. Probably very sweet. I think it might be. Now, I'm going to be careful with measuring this one because obviously it's got all caramel everywhere. So I'm going to have to try and, you know. No, it's not going to be perfectly accurate, but it should be 12.2. For this one roughly. It says 12.3 this time, so we might have added an extra millimetre by the fact that it's broken. But who knows? Right, yeah, and then the width. Okay, about 3.7. Don't know if that was what the last one was, but that's what this one is. And yeah, and the height about 1.1 something. In between the segments, about 6 millimetres. So it seems to vary slightly in the size, but there we go. Oh, you're so enthusiastic and positive. Oh, thank you very much, Pam. I'm sure I have my moments, but thank you. I'm glad it comes across well enough on the live streams and stuff like that. I mean, you know, it's one of those, I guess, you know, it definitely does help to, I don't know, I guess sort of, yeah, be in a good mood with these things, because you don't want to come across as, well, you know, you start doing a live stream, you're not up for it and this, that and the other, so you have to kind of do that. But yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? But you know, it's always good to do it. I enjoy obviously chocolate and things like this, and obviously it's great to chat to you all as well. So you know, all these things put together definitely makes it easy. Let's put it that way. Hi Andrew, great to see you, Andrew. Great to see you. How are you doing? Yeah, how's things for you today? Any what's your chocolate experiences this weekend? Anything interesting? So yeah, so got this dulce de leche one. So let's have a look. Right, so I'm gonna be very messy this, but we'll do it. You know, we'll do it. We'll cut one in half. So you can see it's kind of, this is probably the cleanest segment. But look at that. Now, I must say that does look pretty nice, doesn't it? You have to admit that does look pretty good. It looks very uniform. It almost looks a bit like it's not even snapped from a segment. It looks like that's almost self-contained, and then it's got that little letterbox gap. You can see as well, there's no branding on the chocolate, so it's interesting, you know, isn't it? It's very, very plain. If it was made in the UK, you would definitely have something like Cadbury written on it or something like that. I mean, just look at that. That does look really nice, actually. If I look at this one at the end, that's a very different colour again. I don't know if it's just because the light's not hitting it. But interesting, that, isn't it? Almost feels a shame to break this one, but you know, it's got to be eaten at some point. So let's give it a chop. All right. There we go. Look at that. Yes. There we go. It does look very tasty, this one. It's going to be a very thick, sweet caramel for sure. You find it delicious, yeah, I must say. It does, you know, we don't see it that much in the UK up until recently, and various chefs and things like this on TV have done it. And some ice creams, I think Haagen-Dazs do a dulce de leche ice cream, maybe Ben & Jerry's as well. But before my sort of Peruvian friend, I'd never heard of it before. So yeah, it does look very interesting. It does look very nice. I like the way it's not too messy as well. You know, even though I've chopped it up and done all sorts. All right, so let's give it a taste. Let's see. It's definitely it feels like there's less chocolate in this one than the other one. It could just be because of the textures are so different. It does taste very nice actually. It's very interesting. You got the sort of the dark chocolate definitely comes across a bit more in this one. I feel like I'm definitely getting a sort of a good, would you say, juxtaposition, maybe you might say, between the chocolate and the filling, because the filling is quite sweet and the chocolate's quite noticeably more bitter this time. I mean, even though it's probably the same as the last one, it's coming. You can tell the difference because of the different centres. Let's see. The centre itself, it looks like it's quite thick, but it really melts in the mouth. It's kind of as it sounds. If you imagine, basically a more creamy caramel, basically, is what you're getting. But conversely, I definitely feel like it's less. I don't know if artificial is the right word, but it doesn't. Despite what it sounds like, it doesn't come across as overly sweet. Because it wouldn't do it. I guess milk isn't really sweet, so it's just a thicker caramel. It's got a bit of body to it, but it still melts in the mouth like caramel, and it's still actually pretty. It's very nice actually. It's just different. And it's I would say it's probably less sweet than caramel, even though by the sound of it, it sounds like it might be a bit more sweet. It's just a bit more interesting. There's a bit more to it. I quite like it. It's quite nice. As I say, it's just, I don't know. It's just like a creamy caramel, basically, a bit more so than normal. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Dust Touch is 1 in a million, isn't it? Are you a big fan of it, Adriana? Are you a big fan? It is very nice, actually. It's very different. We don't get it much in the UK, I must say. And we don't, I mean, it is something, you can find it, and as in chocolate ingredients and stuff, but it's not common. I do like this one. I do like it. I feel like the bar, again, is quite well balanced. I feel like it's quite subtle. I feel like the chocolate balances quite well, but you don't get a massive sort of chocolate experience, if you know what I mean. You can't say, oh yes, this is the best dark chocolate I've ever tasted. It just complements the centre quite well. And the centre, again, the dulce de leche is kind of it's interesting. It's very interesting. I wouldn't say it's sweeter than caramel, but it's just a bit more. It's just got a bit more body to it. It's not really different. It's the same. It's not really different, but it's the same but different. If that makes sense. It's interesting. Yeah. So again, this bar, I think it's kind of one that, again, that's it's not got anything in it to blow your socks off, but it is a nice bar all the same. It's a bit like having like an individual chocolate in a selection, a dulce de leche one or something like that, or a caramel one even. And you think, oh, that's quite nice, But it's not one that blows you away, basically. So I think for me, it's probably on the lower end of this, but I think it's a 4 out of 5, that one. I think it's probably more of a 3.5 than a 4, but it has a bit more about it than the last one, the Lucama one. I think the Lucama one was just a bit too subtle. This one, it's quite nice, but it doesn't. I don't feel like it's been artificially sweetened. It feels quite well balanced, and it's just a nice experience. That actually, I quite like it. Yes. It may sound weird, but anything with chocolate like cakes, biscuits, etc. go in the fridge for me. See, so you prefer them refrigerated, do you, Pam? Some people do that, Some people. I've had other people on the channel before saying they prefer it to be cool, or some even people put them in the freezer. I mean, I've always had this thing with we've mentioned it on the channel before, and unfortunately I can't really review things in 3 different states, like refrigerated, room temperature and frozen, I mean, some of the member reviews, the Pop-Tarts, I do review them in 3 states, actually. Having said all that, I do toast them, freeze them, and put them in and have them at room temperature. But their member reviews, they're kind of a bit more, a bit more, reviews I take a bit more, well, not take a bit more time on, but basically, because of member reviews, I go the extra mile for them, basically, because people have obviously subscribed to the channel, well, become a member of the channel for, and one of the perks is various reviews. But yeah, you're not alone in that, and I prefer Mars bars refrigerated, to be honest with you. I feel like they taste a lot better refrigerated Mars bars. I don't know why it is, but it's like you said, some things it just makes a difference sometimes. I could put that on a chocolate cake. I think that would be perfect for it, Adriana. I think actually a filling in a chocolate cake or on top. Imagine that would be really good. I think that would work really well as well with a chocolate cake, because chocolate cake, despite the fact it's chocolate, tends to be a bit, I don't know, it's not the best way of making a cake. I feel like vanilla sponges are better generally, but chocolate sponges, yeah, they do need a lot of other stuff to really make them work, and I think dulce de leche will be one. Might be an opportunity for a business in the UK with dulce de leche merchant. Yes. It's definitely something that's not, I don't know, you'd think it'd be around more than it would be. Yes. Divinus, good to see you. Yeah, hi, good reviews for the Milky Bar Gold. I agree, it was strong like a syrup. Yeah, definitely wasn't for me. It was too fake. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I mean, some people might like that, of course. There's no problem with that. But for me, yeah, it was definitely too much. It just tasted too fake. Real shame that, really. I was really looking forward to that. I feel like they could have done a better job of that as well, and it wouldn't have been that difficult. But yeah. Oh well, never mind. But surely just make blonde chocolate. Just do the proper thing, And I don't know why they didn't do that, but they didn't for some reason. Probably keeping it. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's a shame. We've got the last of the three. I got 3 of these bars from this company, so I've got another one here. So let's have a look. What's this one? What's this one? Move the plate's kind of moved a bit. All right, there we go. So what's this one? In fact, why don't I show it up here? That would make more sense, wouldn't it? So I got this one. So what's this one? Agianto, I think it says. Agianto. I think that's Agianto. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but yes. Now it definitely looks to be, well, some kind of fruit, doesn't it? What does it say there? Will it focus in? Milk and dark chocolate bar with, well, there we go. Agimanto filling. There we are. That helps us a lot, doesn't it? Well, it's obviously another kind of fruit, so that's quite interesting. So let's try and type that into Wikipedia. Aguay. It's not filled it in yet, so we have to spell the whole thing out. So I think I've spelled it right. Well, it's coming up with some kind of plant, so we kind of did that with lucuma as well. So it looks like it's yeah, here we go. It's a species of plants in a nightshade family. So that sounds, well, hopefully it won't poison me. I'm sure it won't. Native to Colombia, Ecuador and Peru, this one. It's called Agimanto. Uvia o Uchuva, it says. In addition to numerous indigenous and regional names. In English, its common names include Cape gooseberry, goldenberry and Peruvian ground cherry. All right, there we are. So there's quite a lot. Well, it could be. It's about 20 different names for this thing, basically. But gooseberry, Peruvian ground cherry in the UK, Cape gooseberry as well. So very well. It looks very different, very unique as well. Yeah, Pam looks a fan. Yes, looks great. Yeah, it certainly does. It looks very well. It's very unique. I mean, of all the sort of things that could have been sent to me, definitely got some unique stuff here. This lucuma, Agimanto. I'm not sure how to particularly pronounce that. I feel like something like that though. The Spanish with the GUA has a specific sound. So yeah, okay, interesting. Looks very interesting, doesn't it? Yeah. So I say it's dark and white chocolate, dark and milk chocolate again. It's interesting. Yeah, it's 50 grams again. Also, what's your favourite so far today, or favourites in general, Pam? Yeah, yeah. Have a let me know, because I'll have a think as well in the meantime if you mean favourite of all time. But yes. Okay, so there we go. Nutritional stuff, so 50 grams. So again, it's very hard, because of this crimping, it's very hard to read that, isn't it? It must be 220 calories again there. Could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. 9 grams of fat, 6 of which are saturates. Then the ingredients here. Dark milk. 64%. Bit of other stuff there. So it doesn't like focusing on this. Skim milk. Yes, segmental fillings 36%. So it's pretty much it goes up to 100 between the chocolate and the filling. So that's really good. That I'm gonna say in the UK, often chocolate bars give you loads of percentages and they don't add up to 100 at all. Don't know if I went over the dulce de leche one here. I'll just quickly go back to that one because I don't think I did that one, did I? I'll just quickly show you that one there. 62% and 38%, yeah. So 62% chocolate, 38% dulce de leche. Yeah, interesting. There we go. It doesn't seem to have any palm oil in either, so that's quite good, these things. So, unless I missed it, but I can't see it. Got whole milk, that was one. It smells skim milk, yes. Songs to listen to. Well, that's a difficult one, actually, Pam. It's a very difficult one, that, because I like lots of different songs, different genres and things. I'm not a massive song music person. I don't listen to a lot of people just listen to it in the background and things. I don't tend to do that. I used to back in the day, but these days a lot of the things I do involve me needing to hear them. So when I'm doing videos, for instance, editing my videos, I need to hear what I'm saying, so I can't be listening to music in the background. A lot of the times I play computer games and stuff like these days, and a lot of the time I need sound to be able to hear what's going on as well. Other times, I mean, so I do read a bit, but I tend to read in bed, so it's not really appropriate to have music on at the time. So I don't really listen to as much really, but I do like all sorts. My favourite band of all time is probably Radiohead, but I do like they are known for being a bit depressing. I do like some upbeat stuff as well. I like All Sorts, basically. I do really like All Sorts. But if I had to say a band would be my favourite, that would be probably my favourite band. But it doesn't mean that I only listen to their stuff. Yeah. How about you? How about you? Oh, it's a Physalis family fruit. So what's that? What's that then, Joe? What's that? Well, we just say it on, Wikipedia. Just say Physalis Peruviana, it says. So, yeah, definitely seems to have its roots in Peru in more ways than one. We had a fruit tree of this family, quite exotic and expensive fruit. Oh, I see. Goodness me. Well, I don't know how expensive these bars were. I don't know. I must say, if it wasn't this very one. Oh, right, interesting. Yeah, it's used on cakes, expensive cakes. Goodness me. Well, maybe I don't know how expensive these bars are then. Goodness me. Sounds like it might be. Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. It's a nice one after. Yes, I mean, I don't know how, obviously, these could be very expensive, they could be, I really don't know. They were given as a gift, so I can't really ask the price, of course. But, yeah. But interesting, well, it definitely is unique, that's for sure. Well, thanks, Joe, thanks for that. It's, yeah, I've not heard of it before. So you've had this one before then, Joe? It sounds like if you used to have a tree in your garden, you must have had it quite a bit. Yours is Sweet Carolina, see, that's very nice and upbeat there, Pam, yeah. Oh, that's very nice, that one. It's a good song, that one, as well. Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, I quite like. I like All Sorts. I've mentioned it a few times on the channel. Harvest Moon by Neil Young is a nice song. I do like that song. Yeah. There's a lot of lovely songs out there. It's very difficult to pick a favourite particularly, but yeah. All right, let's get this one open. Then we're going to have the same problem as before. It's very difficult to get it open. They really are sealed very well. That's this one. Oof, yeah, this one's definitely. Right, it has leaked out quite substantially, this one. Oh, goodness me. Very substantially. So I'm not going to... Goodness me, look at that. Oof. Wowzer. Okay, that's probably why it's sealed so dramatically, because if any leakage, you're going to get in trouble. Right, so we're not going to measure this one because it's just going to be a complete nightmare. But it's going to be the same size as the other ones. At least I don't have to chop it this time to see what it's like on the inside. But there we go, look at this. I mean, it's full of filling though, you can clearly see. I don't know if there's any point me chopping it either. Just yeah, it's a bit messy. There's so much filling. I mean, you can just see how. I mean, it's it really is just full of. It looks, I don't know if fresh is the right word. It's not the word I really want to use, but it's definitely got. It looks to be. I don't know. I'm impressed. It's not like a sort of powder or anything. It's it looks really. It just feels like it's the fruit juice, basically, doesn't it? Your favourite song is one at the beginning of all your videos. Oh, thank you very much, Pam. That's very nice of you to say. What's it called? It hasn't. Well, I don't think it's got a name. My friend made it for me. It's just something he made up. Yeah, basically, he about 4 or 5 years ago. Obviously I told him I'd got my channel and things. And he said, oh yes, you should have some kind of theme tune. He just did one for me. I didn't ask him. He just did one. I did have an outro as well, but I've took that off for the moment, except for some of the member review videos. Basically, just because at the end of the videos, it's they kind of say you just try and promote your other videos by putting the end screens on earlier. So I tend to do that now, so people can click on the next video quite easily. So it just means there's no room for the outro anymore. But it was basically the same thing, just without the lyrics. But yeah. All right, so I might try and chop this one. I think I will give it a chop. I will give it a chop. It might be a disaster, but we'll. All right, there we go. Let's see how this one goes. So, yeah, I mean, you can just clearly see it's just full of filling there. Look at that. It does look very filling. It's going to drip out as well. Yeah, you can see the bits in this one. Can't really smell anything too particular. It does, again, it's got a sort of sweety smell, but it's probably the dark chocolate as well getting in the way of the smell of it a bit, I think. So it's an interesting one. Yes. Yeah, the fruit is a mix of sweet and sour tastes. If it's possible to guess. It smelled that way, if that made sense. Yeah. Yes, it did. Ask your friend to publish it on Spotify. I say, well, it's only about 10 seconds long. It's not a full song, really. It's just an opening theme tune. It isn't a proper song. It's literally. I mean, well, basically, what you hear is that 5 seconds of it, or whatever it is, 5-10 seconds. So, yeah, it's one of those. Oh, right, okay, let's give it a bit of a taste then. That's a bit messy, this one, so we'll do what we can, but let's give it a go. Wow, it is quite it is very bitter. Yeah. Yes. It makes a sweet and sour taste. It's quite. It is like that. It is a bit of a funny one. It's very interesting, very different. I mean, obviously we do have like gooseberries and things in the UK. I can't not have them every day. I can't quite recall what they taste like now. I think a few years back I did have a different a chocolate with them in there, and basically they have that sort of. What I remember, they have that kind of bittery taste. That's probably why it has the same or a similar name in the UK for this fruit. It's interesting, really. Yeah, it's just another interesting one. Trying to pick it up now. It's very, very, very messy. Let's see. It's a very runny centre. I say it's very quite a bittery taste for sure. It's definitely the thing that comes across the most. It's like Jow said, really. It's a sort of sweet and sour almost. For that reason. Obviously, it does have It's kind of like it's what you expect like a sort of gooseberries type taste to be, that kind of thing. It's sort of like let's say like a blackberry or something like that. They're a bit too sweeter. Imagine sort of like a bit of a less sweet blackberry. It's kind of going down that line, really. Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting taste. It's an interesting one. I don't know. It's one of those. I think it's one of those where it's that kind of fruit you either. I don't want to say love or hate, but you either like or are not that bothered about. So it's one of those. It's a difficult one. It's definitely a bit more, as I say, of a sort of, I don't know, a different type of fruit, really, I would say. Like things like raspberry and strawberries and things. A bit more common, those, I think, because they're a bit more sweeter. They are a bit bitter as well. But this one's on a bit more of the bittery end of it, and a bit less sweet. So it's an interesting one. I think it's like Jow said. It's probably, I can imagine it being a bit more. I would say better on cakes and with other things, really. I guess in this case it does have the chocolate. So there is that, but I feel like it probably needs a bit more for it to be the most. I feel like it's too prominent in this. I think for me, you know what I mean. But obviously, if you love the fruit, then that's what you want, of course. But I feel like it's just a bit too prominent. But I don't know. It's a hard one to say. If it was a strawberry, would I be saying the same thing? I don't think I would. I think I would be saying, it probably works a bit better that way. I think this one, I don't know. It's just whether you like that kind of fruit or not, really. Whether you like the sort of the more bittery fruit. So, I don't mind them, but they're not my favourite kind, I think. So it's an interesting one. So I think for me, I prefer this to be with a few other things and perhaps it be, a bit more offset with other flavours, I think. But nonetheless, it is interesting. It is nice. I think the chocolate's good as well. I think the chocolate is really well balanced in this one. It's a bit mixture of milk and dark chocolate. And I think with all these bars, I've been pretty impressed with it, actually. It's not stood out too much, but it's been relevant enough for it to make a difference to the bar. So for me, this one, I think unfortunately it's not really my kind of fruits, but it's okay. It's not, I don't dislike it, but it's not my favourite. So I think, I think it's probably a low 3.5, maybe a 3 for me. But I think if you really like this kind of fruit, if you like gooseberry type fruits, sort of the more bittery fruits, you might get more out of it. But I think for me, 3.5 out of 5. I think I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because of the fact that with the chocolate and things as well. So it's not too bad actually. But and I think, as I say, it's just one of those where I don't know. You might. It's just, I don't know. I think it's one of those. It just depends how much you like that kind of fruit. I think is just a bit, I'm probably not the best person to be rating fruit. I think is the gist of it. but I like it. I think it works quite well. But it's not my favourite fruit filling. I don't think. You thought it was me singing, I see. No, it wasn't. I mean, I can't sing at all. Well, I can attempt to sing, but I can't sing. If that makes sense. So no, it wasn't me. No. Fruit must be very popular. Well, pretty much, I imagine so. I mean, obviously in South America, they sort of have the climate for lots of nice fruits and things. And it's good that they use their own fruits, really, isn't it? And this, that, and the other. But it's just funny how we just don't hear of them here. Interesting. But yes, obviously a good thing to be popular as well. Right. Let's do a good few nice things there. Let's try these. Let's see. I've got this other one now. It's like a sort of biscuit selection. Let's give them a try. Maybe the same company actually. Yes, Alfajores. Yes, Sortido. I don't know if Jow's on hand to translate that, but let's see. Well, there we go. Got a translation here. Dark chocolate covered cookie with dulce de leche and lucuma flavored dulce de leche filling. Well, look at that. There we go. It says yes, high in saturated fat. I think that says, and high in sugar as well. All right. So something about don't excessively consume it. I think is the gist of what that says. I'm not sure what evitar that means. Something about your excessive consumption. Yeah, so be aware of it. I imagine that probably says something along those lines. Look at there's a sheep there. I didn't think if they had sheep in Peru. I know of llamas and things. I thought llamas were the equivalent over there. I'm not sure, but there we go. Oh, there's a llama. There we go, or an alpaca at least. There we are. Yes. So there we go. Yes, there we are. That's very interesting. Yes. And let's have a see as well. What have we got here? All right. The best of both worlds. Lo mejor de ambos mundos. Yes. This duo pack offers delicate alfajores with two popular fillings, each covered with Brit gourmet chocolate. Choose from maple tinged lucuma or indulgent dulce de leche. Each creamy centre is delicious and unique with the spirit and flavour of Peru. There we are. Look at that. Got the ingredients there. Quite a lot of ingredients this time. Anything of interest there? Quite a lot of, as I said, there's a lot of fillings there. I'm not going to read through them all, but just a brief look at them, see if we can see anything of interest. So I can't see any palm fat in, which is interesting. But good all the same. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we are. But yeah, funny that actually. I feel like it should have. I think it seems to have done it both in Spanish, but I feel like maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah. Just it's just a bit of a mixture of a bit of Spanglish maybe going on there. All right, there we go. All right, interesting. Does it have any calorie information? Here we go. Calories. Let's have a look. Per serving, I assume a serving is one thing, maybe, I'm not sure. Oh, 3 servings per container, it says. So presumably we get like a pack of 3 biscuits, 55 grams. 230 calories. 12 grams of fat, 10 of which are saturated. So there we go. All right. There we go. Manhar, I can't remember what manhar is now. I think that's, just check what that is, manhar. I did have a look at it before, but I can't remember what it was. We did say before, didn't it? Let's have a look. Ooh, I think I've just... Hang on. I can type it correctly. Delicacy, there we go. Alright. Evitar, avoid. I say okay, right. Avoid, consuming too much, basically, I think it says. Yes, excessive consumption means the gist of it. Yes. Alright, thanks, Chow. Yeah, to avoid, thank you. Evitar, yes, and fruit chocolate, fruit Roberto. Well, maybe, that would be, yes, it might be an interesting one, but there's probably only so many fruits I could do. But yeah, there we go, interesting. Yeah, interesting one. All right, let's give it a bit of an open then. Let's see. Let's move down a bit. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Evitar too. Yeah, Evito. So, yeah, I avoid, I guess. Yeah. Thank you. Evito. There we are, right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember that one. All right, okay. Let's see if I can open it. It's got a bit of a... I might just use the knife to get into it a bit easier. Okay. Right. Okay, so give this a bit of an open then. I feel like... I don't think I've had these before, so it'll be interesting. I'm assuming this pack's quite a lot in here, as I said, so I'm not going to eat them all, for obvious reasons, but let's give them a go. Interesting. Oh, there's a bit of a swap of them. Ah, there we go, yeah, so you got 6 biscuits. So obviously, it's one of those where, you've got a massive gap around the edge. In fact, there's 2 types here, isn't there? There's 2 biscuits here. So we got, I thought they were both the same, but we've got... So I got dulce de leche one, and the other one, whatever the other one was, what did it say? Dark chocolate cookie, dulce de leche and lucuma. So we got dulce de leche biscuits, I guess, and lucuma ones as well. Okay, yeah, so that's what that manjar de lucuma is. Okay, yeah. All right, very interesting. Ana Blanco. That's dulce de leche, isn't it? Yeah, dark chocolate covered cookies with dulce de leche filling, and dark chocolate covered cookies with lucuma flavored dulce de leche. Well, interesting. Yeah. Yes. All right. Okay, so let's give a bit of an open then. Let's have a see. He was translating the Spanish basically, Pam. Was it just a good? Yeah, there was. It said yeah, Avatar on the box. He's just translating it. It says avoid excessive consumption, basically. Yeah, so he's just translating that. I thought that by a surtido they meant varied. Yeah, see, where did it yeah, interesting that one. Yeah. It must mean like does it just mean a multiple pack or something? A multi-pack? Must because there's two types in them. Maybe that's what they mean, Joe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Must be a bit of an odd one. Alright, let's try the lucuma one first. Dulce de leche with lucuma. Bit of a full pack, we can see it's quite small here. It feels very soft as well, I must say. Very well packed again, you know. That's wow. In fact, there's just one massive biscuit in here. Or cookie, look at that. It's pretty solid as well. I mean, look at this. That's not a small biscuit. Goodness me. Yeah, it must be. Guess more than one flavour. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, I think that's the way I've taken it based on what you've said, Jar, there with your translation of it. Yeah. I mean, this is a massive. I mean, look at the size of this. That's not what I would call a cookie. That's what I would call it. I don't know what I'd call that, but certainly, I don't know. It's very big. Okay, let's give it a measure then. Heavy as well. You know what I mean? It's not light. 6.4 centimeters in height. Weigh about 2 centimeters. 1.9. All right, there we go. All right, so we'll give it a bit of a chop if we can. Yes, people go to Argentina to buy this alfajores. I see. Interesting. Yeah, so they're very quite big things then, are they? And Milk has its own version, do they? All right, I've never even heard of them before. Yeah, very interesting that. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, all right. Let's give a bit of a chop then, shall we? So let's have a see. Okay, right. It's just so really. I can't even get into this. I really can't. Let's have a look. I have to use the tip of the knife, I think. It's just so. There we go. It's really thick. Has to be said. Yeah, really thick. Okay. All right. So let's have a look. So there we go. Yeah. So I mean, look at that. Just I don't know. Massive. Yeah. Quite nice look actually. It's got a nice chocolate biscuit. I'll say that filling is quite a decent size. So definitely a mass. I mean, it's just a ridiculously big biscuit. This we certainly don't have any of them this big and dense in the UK. That's for sure. So one of those. Now, hi there, Andrew. Yes, good to see you again, Andrew. Yeah, I take it you're busy. Sounds like you're sort of in the middle of doing work as well at the same time. I think so. I'm glad you're multitasking well. And good to see you, Jeremiah. Yes, you love the UK. Oh, where are you from then, Jeremiah? Where are you from? All right, let's give this a taste. And this one looks pretty interesting. This one actually, I must say, this looks pretty interesting. Okay, let's give it a go. It's an interesting one. I feel like in the UK the biscuit will be a bit softer. It will be more of a shortbread biscuit, something like that. It's quite a hard biscuit, basically. And you can see there it doesn't go all the way to the edge. The centre doesn't go all the way to the edge there. So it's only quite, So it's a bit of an interesting one. I can split it in half, maybe. Maybe if I can. It's quite difficult to split in half, actually. It really doesn't want to split very easily at all. Okay. Well, it went everywhere when I did it. Yeah. Alright, you can see there, just at the edge, it doesn't go all the way to the edge at all. There's a massive gap at the edge where there's no filling whatsoever. That's a bit of a shame. And it's a big gap as well, you know. A bit of a... It reminds me a bit of Jammy Dodgers, where you just don't get enough filling for it, and I feel like that's what's the case here. Really, got a lot of biscuit. It's quite chewy actually. The biscuit's too hard, and there's not enough centre really. You do get, I'm getting the sense I get that sort of lucuma filling. It's kind of like, that's a very weird taste, a very savoury taste. I think that lucuma. It's an odd taste actually. Nice though, interesting. Yes, you're from the USA. Ah, whereabouts, Jeremiah? Whereabouts? Yeah, good to see you though. Glad you're enjoying the channel. It's a bit, obviously, we do, other countries and things in it, but obviously, we have a lot of UK chocolate, it must be said. So, but hopefully, you still enjoy the channel despite that. They are even thicker, but much softer. Quite sweet and moreish, in your opinion. Yeah, see, yeah, they need to be. It's a bit too hard. This one. It's a hard biscuit. This, it's not a soft biscuit at all. I mean, it's not. There's harder biscuits out there. Let's not be mistaken, but it does need to be softer. It just makes it quite, I don't know, it's quite thick. So it just feels a bit too thick, really. But it's nice, interesting. It's good that there's chocolate there, and the filling's quite thick in the middle. I'll say it doesn't go all the way to the edge, on the outside at least. It didn't seem to. Having said that, it is doing there. An interesting biscuit, this one. I don't know. It's certainly getting your money's worth. It's certainly massive, and it's a hefty biscuit. I'm not really sure what to make of it. It's just so big. I mean, usually that's not a problem, but it just seems ridiculous, It really does seem very, just massive. You know what I mean? Maybe just too much. Although I'd never normally against the idea of something being just ridiculously over the top, but you can see, I was saying it didn't go to the edge there, but it does seem to go to the edge there, so maybe I was being a bit harsh there. But yeah, interesting. There's an Irish biscuit cake which looks like these. Can't remember the names now. Kimber Blaze, maybe. I'm not saying Kimber Blaze. I've not heard of that before. Yeah, interesting. So there's like a UK thing as well. Yes, they're a very cakey taste. I quite like them. They're very moist and easy to eat. I'm not getting a massive lucuma taste though, I think. It is there, but I think in the centre it's obviously a bit more prevalent, but interesting. The chocolate's nice, the biscuit's okay, it's quite, it's not too bad once once you're eating it, obviously. It does come across a bit softer. And I don't know, there's quite a lot of decent stuff there. But it's a bit of a funny one. I feel like it's I don't know. It's not. I don't know what to make of this one. I feel like it's just it's not too hard. You can bite into it. There's nothing wrong with that. But maybe it would just be better if it's a bit soft. I think the biscuit, because there's quite a lot of it. It doesn't hurt to, it's not a problem to bite it and this, that, and the other. But it definitely seems to be a bit too much. It's just but I don't know. I think again, the filling kind of suffers a bit because there's lots of biscuit. But again, you've got the nice chocolate around the edge. It's quite thick as well. Got a bit that flew off here before. You can see it's quite thick, that chocolate. It's not bad as well. It's not. It's quite that sort of subtle chocolate again, where it just complements the rest of the product as well. It's an interesting one, this one. I feel like it's very hard to sort of discern the lucuma taste to comment on it too much. It does give it a chew though, which is interesting. To get like a sort of chewy biscuit almost. Because it mixes in with the sort of like the dulce de leche in the centre. But I don't feel like I get much of the taste of the dulce de leche, you know what I mean? Or it's just there, sort of. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting one, this one. I quite find it a bit difficult to sort of, to really discern much of a flavour from it though, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Looked it up, they're called Boland's Elite Chocolate Biscuits. Okay, what's in those then, Andrew? What are they about then? They've got quite a lot of different stuff in them. Yes. Did the same, yes, when they did the same USA candy. What's this? Sorry, Jeremiah. Yeah. Yeah. When are they do some USA candy? Not sure what you mean by that, Jeremiah. You have to let me know. But yes. But yeah, interesting on this one. Yeah, let's have a see. I'll just have a look at the Boland's one that Andrew mentioned. Let's see. Boland's, what's it called? Let's have a see. Okay, yes, they're sort of like, yeah, they do look a bit similar. Yeah, interesting. Hmm. They do look quite similar, those, don't they? Yeah, those look. I don't know if there's. Are they just as big, those ones? Are they quite? Yeah, they seem to be quite a few things actually, don't they? These are Boland's company. Interesting. Hmm. There's some tea cakes as well. Yes. Hmm. But they look like these. Yeah. See. Yeah. I'm sure what's in them, but they do look a bit like them. Yeah, they do look a bit like them. I think. Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. It's hard to see the size from the internet, of course. But yeah. But yeah, interesting one. Hmm. But yeah, these ones, I don't know. Basically, it's got a nice set of texture and things. I feel like you're losing out on the dulce de leche sensor and the Luca Mafia. You can't really taste it very well. I feel like they're okay though. They're an experience, that's for sure. But I feel like they're just, I don't know. The biscuit's too hard. I think it could have been a bit softer. And I think the centre, I don't know. Maybe there's just too much biscuit, so you can't really taste the centre as well. But I do like the way it sort of makes it a bit chewy. It's not bad. I think it's about 3 out of 5. It's not bad. It's just not. It just could be better, I think, is the gist of it. Let's try and sort this out. My plate. Got so much. When I chopped that one before, it just went everywhere. So I've just got loads of biscuit pieces. All right, we're getting a bit messy as we go on, but there we go. Yes. Yes, they just look rounder. Yes, the other ones. Yeah, an interesting one. Yeah, interesting. Hmm. Very interesting. Yeah. Interesting one. We'll see what the other one's like. So I've got the. This is just a straightforward dulce de leche, I think. So, dark chocolate covered cookies with dulce de leche filling. All right. Okay. Let's give this one a bit of an open then. All right. Let's see. So it's quite interesting. They're not actually sealed. You know, you can just open them, which is quite good. Quite like that. So they're like almost like the hand wrapped almost. So it's quite nice. I don't know if they are or not. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, interesting. So we've got the same sort of affair going on. I don't think we're going to have. You know, we'll give it a measure and things, but I think it's just going to be the same about the Lucuma filling, which to me, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it really. I don't know if you need to have the different type. 6.4 centimeters in width. It's not a perfect circle, but you know, it won't be the same. Height about 2.1. There we go. Oh yes. I saw the wrong candy. Yes, those right. Those the right ones are very similar to the Avor indeed. Yes, yeah, it seems to be. Yeah, don't know whether they'll have the dulce de leche, but it seems to be a similar concept, doesn't it? Similar concept for sure. I say these ones are very, you know, you can't. I don't think you could knock someone out with them, but yeah, could very could quite almost you know almost use them as a weapon. So I'm probably just going to bite into this one, I think, rather than chop it, because when I chopped it before, it just went everywhere. So I think I'll just bite into it and do it that way, I think. All right, let's give it a go then. Let's see. I'll say it's soft enough to bite. It's not a hard biscuit, but you know, it's just maybe there's too much of it. I don't know, really. It's hard to say. But it's interesting. I'm just not really getting much of a taste from the dulce de leche. You know, it just adds a chew to it. It doesn't really individually seem to add much to it. You get a nice chocolate taste. I say the biscuit's not hard. I'll say it probably is about right. Really, it's just the fact there's just so much of it. Hard to say. It's just the fact there's just so much of it, really. You know, a bit of a sweet taste on this one, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's nice, but I don't feel like I'm getting much from it. I don't feel like I'm getting my calories worth from it. You know, I don't feel like I'm really getting much of a dulce de leche experience. You know, it's not horrible or anything, but I'm just not getting much from it. I'm just mainly getting biscuit and a dark chocolate taste, really. I'm not really getting much from the dulce de leche. I feel like there should be more of it. I feel like instead of a layer of biscuit, you know, or the biscuit layer should be thinner, I think, is just it. They should be thinner. I think the biscuit's perfectly fine. I just think it should be thinner. So even though it's a massive biscuit, and normally you think bigger is better, I think in this case, it's just too much biscuit, and it's just detracting from, not detracting from the chocolate, but detracting from the centre. I just feel like you're not getting anything from it. That's meant to be the main appeal to these. You know, it's the dulce de leche centre. And because of, but you're just not experiencing that. So, well, they are still nice. and you get that chew from it. You do get a bit of a taste from them. You can tell there's something there, but you can't only. I think only almost if you're expecting to find it really. So, yeah, I think for me, I don't know. I feel like I think they're again a 3 out of 5, and this one's very similar to the other one. It just doesn't have the dulce de leche, the lucuma taste in it. And as I say again, you can barely taste that really. So, yeah, bit of a disappointing one, that one. But they're nice. They're very substantial, but they're not well proportioned. You know, I mean that is no, I wouldn't say it's a difficult trick to master really, but it is a thing that a lot of bars and things fail with. You're just getting the right balance there, and this one's especially the case because it's just too much biscuit. So I think it's just the fact that the biscuit just needs to be thinner. I think it's the fact that it's so thick or too thick, and it just throws it off balance basically. So, but nice though, they're nice then. But you're just not getting the dulce de leche experience that's what it's about really, unfortunately. But I could happily eat them still, as I say. All right, so I think so last one for today. Let's try using some crisps actually. Why not? Tuyapoi, I think it says. Seed of the world. Native potato chips. Papas nativas. Native collection. Limited edition as well. So yeah. Might be quite, I don't know, touristy these ones. It's got a lot of English on it. Okay. So it's got Mara salt. Sal de Maras. Hand harvest. Pasicado a mano. Okay, picked by hand presumably. Watered with rain. There you go. Rigado con uvia. And with organic potato, con papa organica, I think that says. There we go. Yeah, so there we are. Yeah, interesting. Okay, high sunflower oil, I think. High oleic sunflower oil. There we are. You got fried native potato sheets, it says. That's interesting. Potato sheets. Never heard that before, but there we go. With salt, I think it says there. It says Jujueas de papas nativas. Fritas con sal, I think that says. Yep. Excuse my Spanish, it's not the best in the world, but there we are. There we go, yes. The nutrition here. 30 grams, 1 ounce, I think. 158 calories. That's the 30 gram portion. Not sure how many portions there are. It says 5.3 servings, I think it says. 5.33 servings, there we go. Honest to God. I'm sure it doesn't need to be that, just do it so it's I don't know. Anyway, right, so 158 calories per serving, 5 of these in a bag. Can we see the rest of it? Will it focus in? Will it focus? Will it focus? No. Oh, there we go. The 9.1 grams of saturated fat, 0.8 of which are saturates. So, sorry, 9.1 grams of fat, 0.8 of which are saturates. There we go. All right. There we go, some interesting stuff there. Okay, protein meal like that, the throw in the bin. When they do these throw in the bin things where they use some custom art with it. I don't know if that's not like a native Peruvian, looks more like a, I don't know, skateboarder, I'm not sure really, but there we go. Alright, there we go. Maybe it is meant to be actually, if you look at that person there, it's more, just doesn't look as well designed. But it's got that quite good there. Biodiversity chain. Okay, there we are. It's hard to read all that because it's all a bit bent and stuff. But native seed protectors, I think it says, or protectors, yes. Thousands of years. There we are. Sown in Peru at more than 3,000 feet. 3,000 something. 3,000 meters, I guess. 4,181 feet. Hand harvested. There we are again. Water with rainwater. Produced protecting our biodiversity. Yeah. Native potatoes contain vitamin C and antioxidants. There we are. It's a very natural product, natural thing. That's what they're going for here. That's quite interesting. And I say I quite like the packaging as well. It's very good. But it's half empty, as you can see here. Literally half empty. But they do that quite often. Let's do it with an open. Okay, cool. Well, so you can see here you can see the different potato colours here. In Peru they have lots of different potatoes basically. You can see there, lots of different colours. If you look on the inside, the potatoes are lots of different colours indeed. Interesting one. There you go, you can see, look at that, purple potato. I think they have loads of different types of potato in Peru, I think, from what I remember hearing about. You can see there as well, look at that. Lots of different colours. So it looks very nice, doesn't it? Lots of interesting colours. I think back, if you went back 10 years in the UK, maybe 15, I think it would have been very strange to see this. But nowadays we do have lots of different kind of crisps in the UK, different vegetables and things used to make them rather than just potatoes. Yeah, all right, let's give it a bit of a taste then. Let's see. Let's try this one. Look at that. Let's give it a go. Very subtle dusting of salt, I think you'd say. There's definitely not much of a flavour there. Let's have a look at this one as well. There's not much salt on them, basically. They are very, very natural, I think you'd say. Let's try this purple one as well. Let's see. It tastes just like normal crisp really. There's nothing too dramatically different about them. Sure, there might be if you really had them side by side and things, but okay. I think for me, there's just not much flavour really. They've not really salted them enough. Maybe it's a UK preference thing. Maybe in Peru they'd be noticeably salty, but for me, there's just not much flavour on them really. But they're very interesting, very nice to look at. I quite like the patterns on them. I like the way it's sort of very, very. I mean, look at that. You don't normally get to crisps like that, do you? Really? Look at that. Very interesting. Yeah, it's very purple as well. I don't know if it comes across as purple, but not as purple as it is in hand. But yeah, very interesting. But at the end of the day, there's just not much flavour there. Look at that one as well. They don't taste any different, particularly. I wouldn't say. That one's a bit more salty than the other ones. Maybe the other salt's gone to the bottom. Maybe I needed to shake it. But you don't normally need to do that generally. But yeah, I feel like there's just not that much salt. Maybe it's a UK taste preference thing. There's just not much salt going on with them. But they are nice. They are interesting. I like the whole concept of them all. I think they look great. They don't taste any different particularly, But yeah, interesting one. I don't know. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, they don't taste massively of much, just very, very plain. But with all the other things, the natural stuff in them, the way they're all produced and the way they look and things like that, perhaps bumping up by half a mark, maybe a mark, I don't know. But depends what you're after, really. Maybe you could use them for dips and things like that as well. But I do think, you just say they're very sort of, I don't know. You don't get the impression that they're sort of very overly flavoured and things like that, if you know what I mean. But there we go. So maybe I think for me, I'll give these the benefit of the doubt and say, well, I think I'll say a 2 out of 5, I think is the gist of it. But there's a lot going on, but there we go. I got to go a bit early today, Joe. No worries, Joe. Well, we're actually finishing now, so you just made it anyway. But yes, got to go early today. Great show as always. Great to see you all again. Have a blessed Saturday. Well, you too, Joe. Thanks very much for coming. Great to see you. And yeah, this is the last one as well anyway. So there we go. Oh, and Scotty's in Valencia. Goodness me. Hi there, Scotty. How are you doing? Goodness me, I didn't know you got. Yeah, I've been a bit out of sorts this weekend with keeping on top of stuff. But yeah, I hope you're doing all right, Scotty. Hope you're having a nice time. Yeah, great to see you. Goodness me. Wow. All right for some. All right for some. Oh, thanks, Scotty. Good to see you. I'm glad you're doing okay. But yeah, these ones, 2 out of 5. Yeah, they're okay. They're interesting. But at the end of the day, there's just not that much flavour, But so I feel like I'll probably give them half a mark extra for all the various native and natural stuff we've got there. What we got there? Well, that was there. How long that's been there? Hopefully not too long. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, so there we are. One of those things. Spring's coming, longer days. British people are waiting for. It's definitely getting better, Jow, for sure. Definitely getting a lot more. Yeah, a lot more lighter and warmer. So it's still light now, actually, which is amazing. Yeah, so it's definitely getting better. 17 degrees, all right for Scotty. Look at that. 17 degrees. Wind is 52% humidity and 40 miles an hour. 40 kilometers an hour wind. Yeah. Oh, not bad. Yeah, well, have a good, safe trip journey back, Scotty, and I'll talk to you soon, I'm sure. All right, thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming. It's been great to see you all. Thanks for coming, Scotty, at the end there, and thanks, Joe, as well, of course, and Andrew. Oh, yes. And else who popped along as well. Always good to see you all. Great to see you all. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. See you soon. Bye for now.